Video we're going to discuss a trading strategy that allows people to be very active simply because this kind of trade happens in the market quite a lot, and if you're looking at around, say, 6 to 8 pairs, if you're analyzing about 6 to 8 pairs at a time, every so often you will see these coming up, and the trade that we're talking about is the support resistance bounce. What we mean by support and resistance bounce is very simple. There are at times in an uptrend where a support or resistance rather will become support, and support will also become a resistance if you're looking at a downwards trend. So basically that change of polarity is what you're looking for. You're looking for the resistance to change into support and for support to change into resistance. And when it pulls back to that support or resistance, that's when you're looking to trade. Okay, so don't worry, we're going to go through it all in this video. But what I need you to do first is to load up the momentum indicator and set the period at 14. As normal, you also need to draw a line at the midpoint, which is 100. Okay, if you're using Forex broker's own software, I don't even know what that might be, then that number might be different, but just make sure that you draw a line at the midpoint. Okay, so what we're essentially looking for with this indicator, once we set the period to 14, is that when it's above the 100, let's call it the mid-range point. When it's above the mid-range point, you're looking at an uptrend, which you can see there. And when it's below the mid-range point, you're looking at a downtrend. Okay, so you can see that that coincides with the momentum indicator, and in this area, it coincides with the momentum indicator as well in terms of price, because you've got an uptrend there and you've got a downtrend at this point, which is below the mid-range point. Okay, so that's the momentum indicator in a nutshell. If you're not sure about the momentum indicator, please refer to the video that we've done on the momentum indicator. You might want to watch that first before you get into this. Excuse me. So what we're looking for is this. We're on a 15-minute time frame, okay, and what we've got here at this point here, you can see that we've got a support line. Okay, and that support line, remember, it's always the point at which the price bounces in upwards directions, and you've got that support line, and that support line has been broken. Okay, at this point here. In fact, let's zoom a bit more just to make it a bit more clearer. So we've got a support line there, and a bounce off that support line in the upwards direction, and then it breaks through in the downwards direction. Okay, so what you're looking for now is this area here. Okay, what you're looking for is for that support line to become a resistance line. So what you're essentially looking for is a continuation of that trend, but you're looking for a bounce off a main line that everybody will see and can see on the same chart that you're looking at. You're looking for a bounce off that line and a continuation in the downwards direction. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. So we're zooming back out. So we draw our line, and we can see that that does happen. The price moves upwards and hits this line there. So I'm just going to draw a line that coincides with the hit. Okay, so we covered the shadow a bit. It doesn't matter. And at this stage, we've got a momentum indicator that's showing below 100. Okay, below the mid-range. However, you can't trade it yet. You need to go into the 5-minute time frame and see whether the same thing is happening. So your original support line is at the right point. You come across here, and if I just move that out of the way, you can see that even though it's hit that line on the 5-minute chart time frame, it's not reversed straight down. I mean, reversed a little bit, but what you're looking for, let me just move that out of the way. If we go back to the 15-minute chart, you're looking for a target to here, okay, just a few pips above the next swing low. Okay, so that's the kind of target you're looking for. If I just go back to the 5-minute chart, then that's not good enough. Okay, that hit there is not good enough, and it's not reversed in a downward direction. And you can see that even at that point, the momentum indicator is showing a reading below that midpoint. Okay, and it's sorry, we're in this area here. Sorry, so the reading is still below that midpoint, but it's just not good enough yet. Okay, so what you need to do is check on the third time frame, and that's the 1 minute time frame. Okay, so on the 1 minute time frame, okay, you can see that that's your original support line. Okay, so we'll go all the way across here, and this is the point at which we were struggling with. The line's been hit. Remember, that's our target line here. Okay, but this is the area that we're concerned with, and you can see that the momentum indicator at that point is above 100. So the general trend is still going upwards, even though it kind of went down a little bit there. It still didn't break the midpoint range. Okay, so what you're looking for is for that line, or for that reading in the indicator, to be below 100 on the close of a candle. Okay, so you can see that it went all the way up to here. Okay, and the point at which the candle was at a reading below 100 is here. Okay, that candle that closed there. Okay, so, and that's the point that confirms for us that there's a good chance of a bounce there. What you also need to do is draw a upward sloping trend line that connects the lows of that area. Okay, that little small area, and you can see that on the, what you're looking for is a break. So you can actually see that it is this candle here. You see this small one here. I'm just going to zoom in because I want to make this very clear. This candle here, this weird looking little black candle, is the one that broke. So that closed over that trend line and that showed a reading below the midpoint in the momentum indicator. So our trade was open here at that point. So if we go back to the 5 minute chart, you can see where that trade is. Okay, this line here is our entry. And in a 15 minute chart, which is basically one that we're looking for, we're trading. I'm just going to move that out of the way. We don't need that anymore. We enter the trade here. So our risk to reward ratio, so you're risking about 55 pips for 72 pips profit. Okay, so that's very good in terms of risk reward ratio. I mean, you can see how quickly that trend continued in a downtrend direction. So what you can do is close half of your order at your initial target and just let it run. Just let it run, because that, from the point at which you enter the trade, that went down another 269 pips, or 26.9 pips, around about 27 pips. So that's how you trade the support resistant bounce. Remember, guys, this is your stop loss here, so just a few pips above the top of that hit. So remember, if I just delete those lines, what you're looking for is for an original support line to become resistance, and when you're trading in an uptrend, you're looking for resistance to become support. Okay, so that concludes this trade. We'll see you for the next video.